There could be Hulkamaniacs. There could be the Macho Madness. Or you can be a warrior. This week has been hard for me. It's been one of the weirdest weeks I've ever had in my life. And by honoring that, I'm wearing this shirt. This is another shirt that I actually own by the Warrior when I met him the last time at Frankenstein's 2 years ago. Where do I begin? Let's see. It all started when Macho Man passed. And then it kind of dawned on me, life is short. Make the most of it. After that, I was like, I have to meet these people whenever they get a chance to get down here in the West Coast, and you know, get a picture and get an autograph from them. It was 2011. I got to meet CM Punk, which was cool. I met him at Hot Topic in Hollywood 2 days before SummerSlam. Awesome experience. And then who else I met? I met the year after. I met I actually met the NWO. They had a reunion. I actually didn't meet a lot. I actually met Kevin Nash and Michaels. Met Razor Ramon the next year, and for 2013, it was the last year. Yeah, I met Razor Ramon last year. But there was that one guy that I met, not once, twice. That was the Ultimate Warrior. It was in 2011 that you know, if it wasn't for my friend Luke Carra, Luke Cage 29, that's here on YouTube, and Miguel's tweet, I would have never got a chance to meet him. Ever. I was there, stood in line for the longest time. The signing didn't start till 7. He didn't get ready till like 9, I think. We didn't leave the spot till like almost midnight. Maybe 11 o'clock, 11:30. I can't remember, but oh man. So that's a crazy experience. I remember Luke and Miguel, we were just reminiscing about how the Self-Destruction Ultimate Warrior was, the whole gimmick of the Warrior. Mind you, they had I guess Warrior was doing a reality TV show that he was trying to promote or whatever, trying to create, and he kind of looked at us in the middle of the line and start asking us questions like, how do you feel about meeting the Warrior for the first time? We were rowdy, and you know, little by little, you know, as we were getting near Warrior, our heart was, well, I don't know about their hearts, but my heart was pounding out of his chest like I'm meeting a girl for the first time or whatever, you know. As weird as it sounds, yeah, it's kind of awkward saying that, but I felt like that, like the adrenaline was running. I mean, I was starstruck. Mind you, it's the Ultimate Warrior. It's like a real life superhero, like right in front of your face, like meaning Batman, Superman, Iron Man, what have you, in the flesh, mind you. And it's not it's not an impersonator. It's a real thing. And man, like, you have like so many things to say to him. You know how much he has done for the business, and you want to thank him. But the minute you're there, and I was there approaching him, I couldn't say a word. For the life of me, I wanted to say thank you, and it was at the spur of the moment. in full figure, mind you, full figure. The trench coat, the painting, the real Win Eagle Championship belt that he was wearing. Crazy. I mean, and the craziest thing is that the people that were in front of me, mind you, you'll have an autograph and a picture, and that's it. Not the Warrior. I'm sorry, not him. So when we went there 3 days before Halloween, it was October 28th. I think I uttered thinking this was Friday or Saturday. Anyway, I remember that date, October 28th. We went, and oh man, it's crazy. So when I first met him, I was like, I gotta get him to sign my IC belt. That's like the only way. Like, that's the only thing I will want him to sign is that. Oh man, boy, was it amazing. Here it is, and I presented it to him. And he looked at the belt. He goes, real cool. I really like the design. I was like, thanks. Mind you, I didn't have a camera. I wish I did. I would have just had it recorded for my experience. Mind you, I was starstruck, so I couldn't even say a word, but it was just that experience. I mean, I've seen other people that comes out of the autograph session like crying, like, oh my gosh, I meet him. Not me. I was just starstruck. And he signed it right there. Ultimate Warrior. And he said it was a real cool belt. Got to take a photo up with him, with my belt all hanging down with a little peace sign or a fist up. I can't remember, but I was like, oh my gosh, I got to meet the Warrior. And then I shook his hand. I remember saying, you know, the Macho Man and Warrior match was one of the like emotional storytelling match I have ever seen and witnessed. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. But I was starstruck, so I was like, yeah. Looked like I was stuttering. And he was like, you're good, man. You're good. You're a real cool dude. I was like, thank you, Warrior. And I very, very appreciate it. He was like, no, thank you. And he gave me this firm handshake. I was like, oh my gosh. I shook the Warrior's hand. It was awesome. I didn't take my brother. I really regret it. I was like, could have taken my brother. Gracious enough, I don't know if I was the first or the last person to be notified by this. Months in advance, a friend of mine named Victor that runs Gemini Sports Cards contacted me. He said, I got some great news. And I was like, you're bringing Ric Flair again, because he's the guy that brought Ric Flair. He goes, no, something bigger than that. I was like, Hogan. He goes, no. I was like, what? Sure enough, he said, I'm bringing the Warrior. And I'm like, oh. That's what I that's what I remember telling this to him on Facebook. He messaged me on Facebook. So, sure enough, I was like, I'm taking my brother. For his birthday, he didn't get anything, but I told him in advance, you're going to get something greater than a birthday present, but it's going to be late, but you'll enjoy it. You don't know when it's going to come, but I'm just letting you know that when it happens, you are going to be freaking out. And he was like, okay. So it was in November, like already a year after I met him. He was there, Frankensons, and the line, I kid you not, was bigger than Soundcheck. Lines was like a huge snake line. It was insane. My buddy Daryl, because I brought my belt because I wanted him to take the picture of the belt again. Or I don't know why I brought the belt. I can't remember. But he was like, "Let me. Can we use the belt to take a picture with the Warrior?" It's like, all right, cool. And I just handed it to him. His face lit up. He got the picture with the Warrior, and my pal Mike was there too. Both of them were just standing in line took the photo up with the championship belt, and like I said, their hearts lit up. Especially Daryl, he had that Wrestle Buddy doll of the Ultimate Warrior, which was crazy. But yeah, we were in line, and I got to take my brother. My brother was going insane. I mean, literally insane for the Warrior. He couldn't believe it. He was shocked. Got to meet him. But I kid you not, this is the weirdest thing, and I'm gonna tell you from the get go. When I met up with Miguel, I told him to come up because he was like, I think in the fifth, like 30s. I can't remember. He was in the back, and I told him to come up. That he was with me, and him and I, we were just sharing amongst the people around us, like the experience that we met with the Warrior at Soundcheck, and everybody was like, "What? How it happened?" Mind you, he wasn't there to just sit with his hat on, or with bodyguards hovering over him, not to touch him, or he's there to interact. And that's none, I'm telling you this, that is nothing greater than the experience of meeting the Warrior, because he'll get you that interaction. And on top of that, if you have just one thing signed or nothing at all, he'll just sign whatever you put in front of him. Whether it be 2 belts, 9 belts, 16 different things, he'll literally sign it for you on the spot. And I kid you not, I think his signing was at 4. I don't think people left at till like 9 o'clock, maybe 10 or 11. I don't know. You would have to ask Victor for that, because I'm sure he waited a long time. He'll just sit there and he'll just talk with you. Now, Miguel part. I told him to get in front of me because he already got an experience with the Warrior, so I let him go first because I want my brother to have his experience. Sure enough, I don't know what had happened. I guess he already said it on his account, on his YouTube account. He forgot his camera. I was like, I'll take the picture for you. He goes, alright, cool. I kid you not, I don't know how this happened. Maybe it was for a reason or something. But I remember when I took the photo with my friend Miguel, it was recorded. Lucky enough, that video, or that record that I did, had freeze frames, so I could go back and pause, crop it, and save it as an actual picture, like a freeze frame. And when I got home, I'm like, what is this? And it looked like it says like 200, like maybe 4 minutes, 3 minutes or so. And I was looking, I was like, the hell? And it was the interaction that he had with Miguel, and he was telling him, this, mind you, this was 2 years ago, that there was rumors speculating that if he was going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame, the only way that if Miguel were to go to WrestleMania 29 in New York was the fact that he was going to be inducted and he would be on a first flight there. Didn't happen, but he explained on how WWE needs to clear things up and have his own DVD or his own vision on what happened to the Warrior or whatever, and how they need to clear his name out, that it's, that he's just a good guy. It's just he had bad situations or what have you. And it was so touching because I felt like it needed a closure. There's a pun. So it's crazy. I just don't know how to cope with this because I brought my WCW title. My brother was lit up with joy. This was the coolest thing ever. I guess I was the only one that actually had this signed. There's a story behind this little banner. Actually, it's not little. It's a big ass banner. It says the Warrior on it. That is actually signed by the Warrior. I don't think I'll be able to sell this ever. There's a story behind this banner though. It was at my aunt's house. Still has that scent. Oh my gosh, years later, still has that scent. Went over to my aunt's house, and I don't remember. I was really little. I went into the closet. I just can't remember how I got in it or what not. I turned on the lights, and there was like a little shelf that was on top. It was reachable, and I looked, and it was like just this color, just dangling. And I pulled it down, and it was a big. I mean, it was this. But when I looked at it when I was little, it looked like a blanket. And my grandmother was like, "¿Qué estás haciendo?" And looks at me, and I was like, "Look." My grandma flipped. You know, my aunt was there, and she was like, "You can have it." I'm like, "Really?" She was like, "Yeah. I have no use for it. I love the Warriors, so there you go, have it." I was like, "What?" So mind you, I had this since 1991, and it still has that scent. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I got, I presented this to my brother. Presented this to the Warrior, and he goes, "Wow, this is a really cool banner." I was like, "Yeah, we had this for years," and I told him I wanted him to sign this because last time when he was at Soundcheck from Hollywood, I completely forgot. It dawned on me. He goes, "Well," and he kind of leaned over. He goes, "Well, I'm glad you brought this to my attention, and loved how you have this, and it's something prestigious and something rare." I was like, "Yeah." And my brother, gave Warrior a big ass hug, and we left. Both of us left, and it's the same experience. It was awesome. Damn, like it was something better than the first experience I had with the Warrior. My brother wouldn't, would not forget that moment. This weekend has been difficult, or this past week has been difficult. I got to see the Warrior being inducted into the Hall of Fame. If it wasn't for my grandmother, I would not know what pro wrestling is all about. If it wasn't for my grandmother, I wouldn't know who Macho Man Randy Savage is. I wouldn't know who Hulk Hogan was. I wouldn't know who the hell the Ultimate Warrior was. I wouldn't even know who the hell the Undertaker is if it wasn't for my grandmother. Sadly, when she passed away in 2007, I was sad because I felt like a part of me died. It was those kinds of moments that I had cherished the most. Her grabbing me and sitting on the lap, and start screaming at the screen. If the ref was blind or the ref was knocked out, if the bad guys, those Rulos, was like this close of winning the match, she'll just scream at them and say "Tucha, tucha," all that crazy stuff. I miss that. When I got the network, I had tears of joy because I remember watching SummerSlam '91 was the best pay-per-view. The best pay-per-view I actually seen. And I kid you not, when I was watching Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart, I remember quite well, always, because I used to tape my parents used to tape the pay-per-view. She will always still remember going back and start yelling for the ref to get up, and for Mr. Perfect to not win. Same thing goes for WrestleMania 10 at the ladder match with Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. scream at the TV that Michaels cannot win, let Razor win. It's awesome. And when she passed, I felt like that left me. I was coming back home from class on Tuesday, the night after my birthday. Got a text from my brother. I didn't answer because I just got home. And he pulled me aside. He goes, "Dude, did you get my text?" I was like, "What?" He goes, "Look at the text. I need to tell you this. Warrior passed." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, Warrior passed." I was like, "Shut up." And I took out my phone and I looked at it, and it was a tweet from ESPN saying that the Ultimate Warrior passed away. ESPN, like, they don't even cover WWE. Why would they even acknowledge that? So my phone was blown up by text messages from friends that I've seen through connections of wrestling and what have you, and start calling me up and say Warrior passed. I'm like, no way, like, it's not true. I still hung up until when I read the tweet from Triple H, McMahon, both McMahons, Stephanie and Triple H, came over to my room and I cried. It's weird how things go that way. Day after my birthday, that just unbelievable. Just saw him get inducted to Hall of Fame, and then he just passed. Felt like my childhood just shut down on me. Died. As bad to say it, as hurtful as I say this, but I felt like my heart was just shattered. He meant a lot throughout my childhood, especially with my grandmother. I hadn't felt like that since my grandma passed. I feel like if I don't do this, it was crazy. I wouldn't just had anything else to say. I know the past couple of days with the media pissed me off. It really did. It hurt me so much. Instead of talking about the legacy and talking about how Warrior impacted people's lives and the ups and downs or whatever, they literally talked about steroids. Pissed me off. It neglected all the wrestlers that died. Now, I don't want to go into that subject because it really pissed me off, especially with that reporter, Nancy Grace. Anyway, what I'm getting at is that I had a great experience with the Warrior. Warrior changed my perspective in life. I'll say he made an impact as far as becoming a wrestling fan. They just it was crazy. I love the Warrior. He was by far the first guy I actually seen and I got hooked on. Then it was Taker, and then Taker thus far until now, until Sunday. Felt like that left me in the ring. I don't know what else to say. But that's my thing for you guys. I wanted to share that with you. I was thinking about selling this. That's not the case anymore. I'm putting this as a proof on my will. This title, and I kid you not, this title is going to be buried with me because it has the Warrior signature on it, along with the others. But this holds dear to my heart because this was by far the coolest belt ever. Along with the Wind Eagle, but I am cherishing this the most because this is awesome. I love how the light shines on it. But thank you so much for your time on this video. Just live through the moment and always believe, because without the warrior and without God, I would not believe. Trust me. Alright, so this is the Undertaker 04. No, this is the Undertaker 074789 with this long-awaited return. Anyway, I just thought I'd express this to you guys because of my friend Miguel that made a video on his experience with the warrior. Alright, I think I said enough. Talk to you later. Deuces.